to be cliche, but clearly, this is my jam. You got the sound of saws, the sound of nail guns, the smell of sawdust in the air. This is my home away from home. I wish I knew about this, or even if it existed when I was younger. These guys are competing in a category called teamwork. We've got construction of small houses being built in 48 hours. So not only are you working with a team on building, a small house, but you're competing. You're literally looking at your neighbor or your competitor, what stage of the house they're at. Clearly, you were driven to come back because you've experienced this. What was it like your first time, and what is it like now?
We realized how important it was the first year, but we were really just very, very nervous.
All right, welcome back to GMA3. That was a clip from the YouTube reality series Skills Jam Champions League. Now, the show is spotlighting the next generation of fixers and makers and builders, all competing to be named the nation's best.
And our next guest as the carpenter extraordinaire from the home improvement series Trading Spaces, and for his famous line, "Move that bus" on Extreme Makeover Home Edition. Please welcome Ty Pennington.
Hey! Thank you.
You're the reason I think I can DIY.
Yeah, I think that caused a lot of that.
It's all your fault. I'm blaming you to my husband. This series that you're a part of is so cool. It follows young people. This is a teen competition, the annual Skills USA National Leadership and Skills Conference. Why did you decide to do this one?
I mean, honestly, just like I said earlier, if I had known there was something like this when I was younger, I would have been all about it. But here's the truth, right? There's some crazy statistics. It's projected that there'll be 3.8 unfilled jobs by 2033 in the skills trade. That's scary. Who's going to fix our, and so it's really important, I think. Yes, there's options of college and the military, but you can also make a really good living and start your own company and learn so many different things in the trades. But what you guys are seeing, it's not just construction. We're talking about mechatronics, electronics,
plumbing, robotics,
but working on airplane engines. It's incredible. And to see these young kids with a chance at feeling like they were gifted at something. Because, you get in high school, people ask you, what do you want to do with your life? And nobody has any idea. But for me, I remember I was an art teacher pulled me aside and said, you know what, you've got a gift. And, don't let this go. And that's the only person who ever said that. My parents are like, he's a bit hyper. Let's make sure he's wearing a helmet.
Make sure he's wearing a helmet.
But sometimes you need that person to say, you are talented. You should go after this. And I think the skilled trade is an opportunity for so many kids. And their future is. One of these girls that is in the show. One's going to be a printer who makes jewelry and her own art. The other one wants to work at NASA. And so with those skills, that's exactly what you can do. So I love it because under that one room, there's just so much excitement and for young kids who have a future in front of them. When we're older, let's hope we've got some kids that know how to fix things and know how to solve some problems, because right now there's a gap.
A big gap there.
Yeah.
And I even talked about DIY. What do you think the viewers will learn from the students on this show?
I think they're going to learn that that with passion and determination, honestly, you can become whoever you want. But you can also, look, I feel the same way about an artist or a project, right? We can all do it. It may take longer than you thought, but we can all do what we set out to do. It's just a question of how we get to the finale, if you will. But I just love to see passion and spirit in people who want to create. And I think this is an opportunity for people that are good with their hands, but also dreamers that want to start, at a young age to create a future that could end up being their own business. That's the dream, right?
Yeah, I'm curious for you, because when you first started out, there weren't all of these DIY shows and stuff.
Right.
So what's your advice for this next generation coming up trying to figure it out?
Well, there's a quote that I love, which is, if you want to get lucky, it pays to be prepared. So I have always gone through any door that opened, any opportunity, whether it was I wanted to be a graphic designer, I went to school, I got that, but then I realized I didn't want to sit behind a desk 9 to 5 for the rest of my life. So whatever job there was, construction, whether tiling, or even I went and did fashion modeling in Japan, but that made me comfortable being on camera. And then later on, the medley of all of that prepared me for having a chance to be on camera, knowing how to build things. But who knew there's a job for that? If I hadn't gone through every door, I wouldn't have had the experience in every one of those categories.
Look at you now. Can you do me a favor and just say, move that bus, please?
Move that bus!
Yes! for it, Ty.
Thank you, Ty Pennington, for being with us today. And you can watch more Skilled Careers content on the Skills Jam YouTube channel.
This guy had Sundays on lock.